What's up, people? Man, this shit is crazy. I didn't really even intend to actually do a video, and I was actually on my way out to go for a walk to try to lose some of this goddamn weight. And I think I came across an article that Cardi B is trying to take Tasha K shit, and I'm like, what? So I'm like, fuck it, I gotta go and basically investigate this shit. So I basically hopped on the internet and downloaded all the documents I could find. And, to bring you up to speed, in case you didn't know, basically Tasha K and Cardi B went to court. Cardi B won, and Cardi B has recently filed a writ of execution to take Tasha K's shit to get the money for her judgment. So what's basically happened is that Tasha K has basically filed a motion to deny the writ of execution. So I have that document and I have their reply brief, and I'm just gonna tell you it's just a bunch of bullshit, right? But in my personal opinion, right, it's a bunch of bullshit on Tasha K's side, and I'm gonna get into why. But I just want to step back and say this: there's a lot of lawsuits flying back and forth aimed at bloggers and people. I just want to tell you, you really have to be careful with what you say and what you do on these YouTube streets, because you can be sued in a motherfucking heartbeat. And I'll be the first one to tell you that it's okay to, see something on the internet and comment on it. There's nothing wrong with that. But you really have to be careful, because what some people are doing, and I've made plenty of warning videos, and I posted it on my channel. But, who am I? I'm not a lawyer. I'm just some guy on the internet reading legal documents. But basically, what I notice is this. You get a lot of people out there, they just make up shit about a superstar and then they post it on their channel. You can't do that. You can't do that. And if you do it, you're going to risk being sued of defamation of character. Now, when I post stuff and when I put things out there, I'm basing it on the facts or what I've seen on the internet. And that stuff turns out to be false, then I walk it back. And you also have to be careful how you present a lot of stuff. You basically just have to say, look, I don't know if this is true, or I don't know if it's false. These are allegations, or just say allegedly, this is what happened, and you throw it out there. That's what every major news media does when they present you with information. So you got to keep a lot of stuff like that in mind. But in my personal opinion, a lot of people aren't really even trying to be careful. They just throwing whatever they can out on the internet to, get clicks and views. And, some of these people are making money. Some of these people are making serious money. And you got to be careful. You definitely have to be careful. When you're out in these streets trying to get these clicks and views, posting any and everything and saying whatever just to get paid, that shit gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Plenty of people out there are making money on YouTube. I personally thought Tasha K would be good for this money. I thought that Tasha K probably had 10 million in the bank somewhere. And the reason I say that is because when you look at the number of subscribers she has, and you look at how much, the amount of donations she gets, I'm like, oh man, this chick is good for it. She worth well over, 10, 15 million dollars. And, to be honest with you, me personally, I don't think that was bad logic, because you got plenty of people out there who make confessions saying that, yeah, I made $20 million on YouTube and all I did was play with dolls. Or I made $20 million on YouTube and all I did was try out toys. So you got people on YouTube making stupid money. So I just figured Tasha K was just another one of them. But apparently you got all these photos, all these articles allegedly saying that Tasha K is in Africa. And then I saw some articles where Tasha K refuted that. And then I saw some other articles where it says Tasha K moved to Florida. Tasha K, I don't know if any of this stuff is true. I don't know if they're just allegations, but I'm going to tell you right off the bat that if you think that you're about to move from another state in order to basically, evade this judgment, I'm going to say you're dead fucking wrong. It's not going to happen. They're going to get you one way or the other. It doesn't matter where you move. They're going to get this judgment, right? Like, I guess you could move to Africa and then just take all the money that you have. And, like, if you have, like, $10 million, you could possibly move to Africa and take that money, or move to a country that doesn't exercise you as judgments. You could probably do that. I mean, but are you going to be happy? Are you going to be happy? You know, that's a question that you basically need to ask yourself. Are you going to be happy? But, you know, to be honest with you, honestly, if I had $10 million, I'd be happy anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on through Tasha K's head. I don't even know if she's actually moved to Florida. Again, these are just articles that, you know, I've seen that alleges that she's moved to Florida. But I don't see how moving is going to help her evade this judgment. I'm not sure if that's what she's trying to do. I mean, but there could possibly be some loophole where you move to a certain state, they have certain protections. I don't know. I'd have to dig into all that. But right now, I'm really just focusing on, you know, what's before me. Basically, Tasha K is about to get got. Long story dull. So basically, I have Tasha K's motion, and she is trying to evade this judgment. And basically, I'm just going to sum this all up. It's all bullshit, in my personal opinion, on Tasha K's part. Basically, long story dull, I read this. Tasha K is saying that we filed an appeal, we paid all the court fees, and according to Georgia state law, we are entitled to a stay of execution of the judgment. Now, I'll just read it. It says the proceedings in aid of execution are governed by Georgia law, even when, as here, the underlying action is in federal court. The federal procedure on execution and in proceedings supplementary to and in aid of a judgment or execution must accord with the procedures of the state where the state court is located. So it's basically saying that even though the judgment is in federal court, you really have to abide by the state court law in terms of getting the money from the individual, right? And then it goes on, Georgia law imposes a mandatory stay of proceeding to enforce a judgment for 10 days after. And I'm not even going to read the rest of this stuff because it's all bullshit. What they're trying to do is that they're trying to cut and they're trying to edit Georgia law to make it look like they are entitled to a stay, even though everyone and their mama knows in any court in any land, well, I guess I can't say any court in any land, but basically in anywhere in the United States, mostly United States, in order for you to stay the execution of a judgment pending appeal, you got to put up a fucking bond. And that's just, you know, that's just the way it is. And there's no getting around that. So if you're not putting up a bond, then they get a chance to collect. Now, with that said, I'll skip over to the civil rules of federal procedure here. And basically, Rule 62, which is what's being quoted there, basically stay of proceedings to enforce a judgment. For sure, you get an automatic stay for like 30 days, right? You get automatic stay for 30 days. And I think that's the reason for that is they just want to make sure there's no clerical errors or there's no error in judgment. And they want to give the opposing party a chance to file any necessary documents to vacate the order, so on and so forth. I think that's just a built-in mechanic because, Tasha K could have easily come back and said, you know what, I want a retrial or I want to file a motion to vacate the judgment. So they leave a window of opportunity open for filing and to basically go over everything and make sure everything is good and true and correct before they execute, right? Then after that, it says stay by bond or other security. And then it goes on to say, anytime after the judgment is ended, a party may obtain a stay by providing a bond or other security. The stay takes effect when the court approves the bond or other security and remains in effect for the time specified in the bond or other security. So there you have it. The rule itself basically tells you that you need to file a bond. If I go to Georgia state law and I look up, the similar law, it's going to say the same thing. Most states are going to say the same thing. If you want to stay the execution of a judgment, you got to put up some type of bond. And in Illinois, they basically, actually, it's a little loose here because in Illinois, they charge interest on the bond, right? So if you want to stay execution on the bond, they want the bond plus interest, probably plus 2 years interest. So it's a little tough in Illinois, in my opinion. Then it basically, goes on. I think somewhere in here it talks about how the judge has some leniency, or they could basically give the defendant some leeway. I think I read it earlier. Don't quote me on that. But basically, that's it, right? So if you are appealing, you got to put up a bond. And nothing in this document, unless I missed it, says that when they appeal, they put up a bond. They probably thought they were going to appeal and get away with not filing a bond, but that's just pretty much not going to happen unless the other party is asleep. And I don't really think Cardi B is going to be asleep on her money. And to be honest with you, I don't even think Cardi B need the money. She's just basically doing it to show that she's not to be fucked with. Because let's be honest. I mean, do you think Cardi B really needs this money from Tasha K? No, she doesn't. Cardi B is a fucking mega superstar and probably a mega millionaire. She doesn't really need $3.5 million from Tasha K. And it looks like from the way things are going, Tasha K doesn't have $3.5 million to give Cardi B. But I think she's basically just doing this shit to punish her and to just say, look, bitch, don't fuck with me. Right? And she's basically letting it be known that you don't fuck with me, you don't drag my name through the mud. And I think she's probably also doing it to show that, you really shouldn't defame someone's character. And she's pretty much just making an example out of Tasha K. Whether or not she's doing it for everyone, because some people think in terms of justice for all. And this could be a thing where Cardi B just believes in her heart this is wrong and no one should be allowed to get away with this. So I don't really need the money, but I'm doing this to set example for any and everybody who is to be wronged by people who do things like this, right? So she could be doing it for that reason alone. Don't put it past Cardi B because, like I said, she doesn't need the money. And I don't know Cardi B. It could be that she's just malicious. But to be honest with you, it could be simply that she doesn't want to see someone get away with basically doing what Tasha K did. That could be the reasoning why she's coming at Tasha K so hard because, she believes in justice. Because think about it. If Tasha K could do this to Cardi B, then and get away with it, then Tasha K could literally do this to anyone who doesn't have money and get away with it. So maybe there's some side of Cardi B that wants to do this for everybody. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think this is kind of Cardi B being acting on the side of justice for everybody? Do you think that's what's behind this? Or do you think it's just, pure malice? Cardi B just doesn't want to be fucked with and she's making an example out of Tasha K. Let me know what you think. Comments below. So that's Tasha K's bond. I'm sorry, Tasha K's motion. That's her motion. And then basically Cardi B responded through her lawyers and responded. And again, I read this, but I'm not going to sit here and read all this over the internet because basically they say exactly what I basically told you. It says Rule 62 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure governs the defendant's request for stay of execution and provides that they are only entitled to a stay upon providing a supersedis bond, right? So if you don't put that money down, or you're not letting her hold anything, then they have the right to, go and take your shit. So, that's basically the gist of it. And then it looks like they were granted an order. Basically, it just says that it is hereby ordered that the plaintiff's motion for supersedes bond is granted pursuant to Rule 62 of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and Georgia law. Plaintiff must post a supersedes bond in amount of $3.8 million to stay execution of the amended judgment. So this whole thing is fucked up, man. I really hope that Tasha K is not going to be. Honestly, I never want to see somebody be destroyed. I really don't. So I really hope that Tasha K is not going to be destroyed by this. Now, this puts us kind of like in a tricky situation. And this is where I need your help on. Because part of me is like, okay, the law should basically punish people for doing wrong. But Tasha K has kids. And she has a family. So at what point, I don't know Tasha K's finances. Like I said, I really thought that Tasha K was good. I thought she had at least 10 G's. 10 million. I'm sorry, not 10 G's. I thought she had at least 10 million. But if, to me, it looks like now that they found this, that it looks like she's panicking. And if she's panicking, that means maybe she don't even have enough to even pay half of this shit. I don't know. You guys tell me. But here's a problem, though. At what point do you let people fall through the cracks? I understand that, she has caused Cardi B damage. I understand that Cardi B has his judgment. And I understand, as they say, you can't file bankruptcy when there's a judgment against you for malicious action. And I'm trying to figure out at what point in society do we set limits? Do we allow this woman to basically go 100% bankrupt and to be, bankruptcy isn't even an option here. Do we allow this woman to have everything she has taken away from her and to see her forced to be living in the streets? To me, that's not right. I think if Tasha K is in that situation, then I think she needs to make a plea to the court. She can file a motion for reconsideration and just say, hey, look, judge, look, I don't have any money. Basically, all I had was, X amount of dollars. Let's say, let's make up a number. Let's say all I have is $1 million. I'm willing to give all that except, $10,000 so I can have something to eat. And what I'm asking for at this point is a way to move forward so I can be able to provide for my family and so that I can basically afford a roof over my head and basically be able to feed my children. That's all I'm asking for, right? And maybe even if she goes to Cardi B and says that maybe Cardi B will have mercy, but at this point probably not. But I think if she goes to the judge and she files that type of motion to the judge, then she'll get a stay, right? I think she'll get a stay because I think there's limits, right? I could be wrong. Like I said, basically there has to be something in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure to help with that. I thought I saw, stay without bond on appeal by the United States, its officers. That's only for the government. Stay in favor of a judgment debtors under the state law. If a judgment is a lien on the judgment's debtor's property under the law of the state where the court is located, the judgment debtor is entitled to the same stay of execution that the state court would give. So I'm praying that, there is something in the law, and if I dig deep enough, I bet you I could find it. But, like I said, I wasn't really prepared to do this video, But I'm hoping, right, that if Tasha K is in a situation where, because come on, you guys don't want her kids out on the street, do you? You know, so I'm just hoping that if Tasha K is in the situation where she's about to basically lose everything and risk not being able to feed her kids, I'm hoping there is something in the law that puts a limit on how much can be taken, right? And you know, you have plenty of people out there that who committed crimes, and because they committed crimes, maybe financial crimes, all of their property is taken, and after that, they have this judgment hanging over their head that basically says that they have to give up anything they have, right? You know, so I'm hoping there's something in the law that allows a person to basically be able to feed themselves and feed their children. You know, so there has to be something in the law that allows that places a limit on how much can actually be taken. You guys let me know what you think. Does this Tasha K deserve to have some type of limit placed on this writ of execution? Do you think there's a law out there to help her? Or do you think Tasha K really has the money? I think she has it. I don't know. Do you think she has it and she's just basically holding on to it when she should really let it go? That's it. Let me know what you think. Questions, comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe.